20 people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I posted it in 2 or 3 more groups.
Yeah, I have people in lists in my Facebook. So I don't know if you have people in friends lists, but
Mhm.
I sent it to a whole bunch of out-of-state agents.
Hmm.
And then when you're done,
Oh,
make
yeah.
me a
Make you-
co-host so I can grab the stragglers
Step
that
by
come in.
step. Very
do-
easy.
Can I have 2 co-hosts? Yes. Co-host. Okay. Hi guys, how's it going?
Good.
Long
Morning.
time no see to my skin in the game, people. We were just on Zoom 5 minutes ago. Awesome. Okay, well, Joanne's gonna keep letting people in here. Sorry I'm late, but we're just getting started to figure out, where we're gonna go with this. So today is super exciting because I got to bring Chris Harden on. I'm not sure.
Do you have your Emerald
Right away.
website?
But go ahead and mute yourself, and then unmute if you ever have any questions, or raise your hand. We'll be answering questions all throughout the presentation. But Chris Harden is the owner and developer of Book Me Solid. He's a freaking genius, and I've been working with him for years. Anyway, so he's going to talk to us a little bit today about how to generate leads on Facebook, but not just that, because we all kind of know how to do that. But you're going to actually be chatting with them through Messenger. So that's like the gold piece there, because for someone that spends thousands and thousands of dollars on generating leads and getting bad phone numbers and bad emails, right? And it's not that people are putting in bad information. It's people put that information in their Facebook because they don't want anybody knowing their real email or anybody knowing their real phone number. And so when they click on your ads, it auto populates and they just send, so they don't really correct any of the information. And so that's why a lot of times you get those. So then you're in other websites trying to figure out their correct email and their correct phone number. Well, you're actually chatting directly with that human. So whoever clicked on your ad and wants to learn more about your listing is talking to you directly. So that's the coolest part, because I spend hours and hours trying to find the leads in Facebook, but some people are private, so you can't even find them, and so, or, you're looking for John Smith in Las Vegas and there's 50 of them. So what, you message all of them, hey, is this where you live? Trying to work on your home value. Are you the right John Smith? You know what I mean? So it's almost impossible. So this is the perfect solution. And he figured that out to actually run the ads and have it come right through Messenger. So basically they get a list of all the pictures, they get to see all the pictures, the drone video, the 3D tour, whatever you do for your properties, he can put right into the ad. And then they make thanks, Dad. He's amazing. Everybody should have a dad that brings you breakfast. Anyway, so
You are so spoiled.
I know, he brings me Starbucks, he brings me breakfast. But he knows I sit here, like I literally get on this computer at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just go. I mean, like this morning, I was gonna try to get a shower before my class. Never even happened because I have so many things going on. So, but that will be after, I promise. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen really quick so you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about. So they're going to click on this ad that talks about, this property that I'm trying to sell. And then they're going to see some pictures, and then they're going to have links, view 25 more photos, or view the, drone video. or the 3D tour, so they can really look at that. But then the bot that he built, like, kind of hops in there and says, thanks for checking out the listing. Could this be your future home? They're just curious. Would you like to follow the market values in your neighborhood? Yes. We can help with that. How often would you like to be notified? Weekly. And then they give an email. But I mean, some of them, like, they'll be like, okay, nope, I want 2-story, or I want 4-bedroom. They'll chat with the bot, and then you hop in and take over the conversation, and that's when you start having some gold happen. So a lot of people just take their property, they'll put it on Facebook and they'll boost it. And I'm just saying, don't do that. It's a waste of money, because you're boosting it to your friends and family. Your friends and family already know what you do, right? So this is actually, he's running these, reach ads to reach, and he can actually run in your neighborhood, or, he runs some of my ads in California, because we have a lot of people from California buying here. So, he's pretty amazing. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on and on and on and let him take over. So, Chris, go for it.
Awesome. Thanks for the intro, Wendy. So basically, like what I've come to find, the more and more I talk to people, is they are tired of chasing, fake people. So the way I came about this is I used to develop websites with WordPress, and one of the last websites that I did was a real estate agent, and he looked like he died 6 years ago. All the stats were hard coded, and I helped him out and made it pretty, basically. And he started asking, can you generate leads? And I'm like, actually, I'm learning how to do that now. Let me circle back around to you. So what I did is I learned how to run a lead format, which I'm sure some of y'all have done before. And it captures their name, their phone number, their email. You can ask a few more questions and see motivation. But the key to that is you got to follow up and connect with them. Most people don't have any kind of automation to help them with that, or they've got bad info out the gate. So while I was looking for that and I started delivering those leads to him, he's like, I called him, left him a voicemail, heard nothing, or the number didn't work. And I'm like, well, cool. How many times did you do that? And he's like, once. He's like, I call him, I text him, I'm done with him. And I'm like, well, industry average is like 7 or 8 times. So what do you expect, really? So I had to set expectations on that. But while I set expectations, I went looking for, cool, how can I help him do this? How can I help him automate some of that to get it going for him while he's doing something else? Well, what I came across was a Domino's ad. And before I know it, I was ordering pizza through Messenger. And once I saw how that worked, I was like, I got to figure this one out, because I haven't seen anybody do it with real estate. So I went digging, and I found out like Mercedes was doing it, Clinique was doing it, Macy's was doing it, all these other brands were doing it, but real estate was not doing it. And then the more I dug, somebody did do it, but they treated it like email. They're like, cool, we're going to build out this 52-week follow-up, and it's just going to bug the living crap out of you. And what do you get whenever you get this ding, ding, ding? They unsubscribe. So I kind of took that concept and I kept it simple. I was like, let's start the conversation and you pick it up when you're ready, because you're busy, you're doing stuff, you're not on the line to follow up. So what I did is I asked that initial question to buy you some time and basically say, hey, I'm here if you need me. And then you come back behind. If they don't engage with that, you have to continue to poke, just like a phone call. But knowing what to ask gets you to the end result faster. I poke them until they die. They tell me yes or no. Just curious, don't count. Like, I want to know what invoked you to click on the ad. And I ask that question until I get the result. So it's basically a numbers game, but you can get there faster with this. And the cost per conversation is usually less than $1. I mean, we see them like 20 cents sometimes. So it's not necessarily your ad spend. It's more about being consistent in your follow-up and setting time to actually go follow up with that. So I will show you my, basically I set an appointment right before we hopped on this. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's what an ad looks like. Here's one that I'm running in Naples. There's nothing special about this. We're not telling them the price. We're not telling them the neighborhood. We're telling them the basics. We're like, home for sale in this area. Here's the square footage. If you want the price, the location, and details, you click learn more to get that. If y'all want to pull out your phone, you can type in bookmesolid.com/demo and it will give you that experience. You'll see it in real time. But while you do that, I'll come over here and show you what this conversation looks like. So here's that house that we saw. Basically, whenever they click learn more details, it pops up and they have to click another button. That other button basically says, go get this specific listing, this specific details. Because if you're running multiples, it needs to know which one to load. So when they click that, I load in the description and the price and a couple photos, like Wendy said. I've kind of started cutting out and just doing one initial photo because people are like very short attention span. We just want them to go straight for like go to the website, which they do when they click view 30 plus photos. That opens up within Messenger and keeps them contained there so that when they close it out, they're staring at our follow-up question, right? So this one says not in market right now, but in a year, just curious when it popped up on Facebook. No worries. She always tries to get them on a newsletter. I'm like, I don't know that that's a value add or not. It just really depends what your newsletter is. So I came back through and I said, when you purchase next year, will be an investment or primary, because I want to go ahead and start that conversation, build that relationship, see where they're at.
Hi, can I get a caramel macchiato?
Yes.
Hi.
Me too, Kiana. Order 2.
That's funny. But basically, like, I want to see where they're at so that I can help them there in the future. If you just leave it at next year, they'll go find somebody next year. It may be sooner than next year, but you don't know till you ask. So asking the right questions is very important. So here we go. So they want a primary home. I always ask, do you need to sell before you buy? Based on your listing and your listing price, a lot of people probably need to sell before they buy. Here in Naples, you can see these people are from Ohio. We were running ads in Naples. Guess what? They were in an Airbnb hanging out, visiting, So that's why they're like researching and whatnot, and we catch them in the act. So you can see where my conversation progresses, and they said they actually moved, right? So they just moved there and they've been in an apartment for like a month and a half, I believe. So you can see, like, I kept asking questions. I got details. They sold their condo in Cincinnati. And then I asked how much is their rent? Like, most people don't ask good questions. I ask good questions because if their rent was really cheap, I'd be like, there ain't nothing to buy here, But everybody's rent's expensive now. So it's like, can I beat that? So then I asked, if you found something that made sense, would you break your lease? And they're like, I would if it made sense, more or less. And then they came out and said, hey, we've been here a month and a half because the lease is up in 11 months. And I was like, what do you do for work? So they told me, hey, we work at home. I do this, my wife does that. And I said, what made you choose Naples? Because that's an important question. Why are you here? That's the true reason. We came to get closer to the kids, right? But they wanted the Gulf view. They didn't want inland. So that's why they did it, right? And that's kind of where I left it. They haven't read that one yet to progress, but I can go up to this other one. Let's see. You have to kind of think about it. It's like dating.
Real quick.
They're not going to jump.
You see all those that he's scrolling through? Those are all like, I'm not even kidding. It's all like in the morning, all day long. But I mean, that's so if you don't want a crap ton of leads, do not do this. But
Yeah,
literally,
don't do this.
Yeah, it is so many conversations that you have to keep up on. So sometimes people get some help. Sometimes they do it on their own. So
yes.
Yeah.
So the conversation Wendy showed you where it had like a multiple choice, I've been trying out a new workflow where I ask fill in the blank questions, and the fill in the blank ones seem to be progressing a little bit more so. So basically it asks this, how long have you been looking for a new place to call home? If they don't fill in the blank, then we ask them again. We're like, are you looking for homes with 4 bedrooms? If they don't answer that, then we ask, where are you at in the home buying process? And you can see, like, we're poked a few times all the way down to, are you looking for a home with a pool? All of that was automated. And then they chime in and say Marco Island. And then she hopped in and said, are you looking for waterfront in Marco? And they're like, yes. Great, may I send you, properties? Yeah, that's the boring question that everybody asked. They did not say the price range. She's like, I don't care. I'm sending you up to $2 million because that's kind of the price point around there. And they're like, okay, good. And then this morning, you can see like they went back and forth a little bit, but I hit this morning and just said, hey, have you been getting my emails? Where's it at? See anything you like to go look at? And they're like, yes. But after this week, I'd like to see some properties. I'm like, great, let's get that on the calendar. And they're like, maybe Monday. We kind of left it off here. And if you don't bite, then we'll hop back in. But the one right before that, he's like, you can call me anytime. There you go. And it's kind of the same thing. Like I asked, are you going to be financing or is it a cash deal? And he's like, it depends. Depends when. Depends what the rates are. But that tells me that they have enough cash to buy. And like in this area, it's not cheap. It's kind of, you have to filter through a few, but I think the return is great when you do. So if you have a buyer's agent, this is kind of ideal for that. You want the buyer's agent to help you with this. And you just basically pay them a referral fee. If it's just you, you have a time block. As with anything, you got to make time to do stuff or you're going to wonder what happened. So that's kind of my spiel. Does anybody have any questions? You.
Michelle, hey,
No.
girl.
Hi, Wendy. Hello, Chris. So I'm trying to kind of put it together in my mind because this is new to me. So you've got artificial intelligence talking plus the agent plus you.
Yeah, so that one I made a deal. Basically, I got my license so I can make a deal. And I've come back behind a few agents and said, hey, are these dead to you? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, is it worth 30% if I bring them back to life? And they're like, yeah. So I have a few in different areas that I'm doing follow-up. I'm basically an ISA for. And what that's doing is giving me new things to test out along the way. So like I'm having like 1,000 conversations a day. So I can get to the point fast. And that's why you can see like I started hers yesterday, right? So that's kind of why I'm in there. But yes, so it's your inbox, it's your Facebook business page. The automation does that first follow-up or the first couple touches, and then it's all you.
It has to be your business page. It can't be your personal.
Correct. It all runs through a business page. You have to run ads through a business page.
But yeah, great tool. So what happens if you don't have listings?
If you don't have listings, well, most people, it just really depends how big a head they have. But most people, they like free advertising. So like me as a new agent, I reach out and say, hey, can I promote that? And they're like, absolutely. I don't tell them how.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody should be able to grab a property from their broker.
Yep.
Or an agent that wants help marketing it, or maybe something in your farm. Just be like, hey, can I promote this? I got a really super cool system. I'd love to generate some leads on and maybe get you a buyer. So, in the market today with our new market shift, that's huge because I need all the help I can get to try to get a buyer for my listings because they don't sell in 2 days anymore.
Wendy, it's my understanding that you don't even need permission from the listing agent to market their listings, but I'm going to check with my MLS.
I would definitely check because
I
know
will
where
definitely
you get
check, but
trouble.
I don't think we really need permission, but I will check.
So
In California, we need permission. And I
it's
always do
based on
listing
state.
courtesy of.
it's based on your state and it's really based on your broker. And a lot of people say different things. That's why I like to get it in writing that if they ever come back and complain, be like, you tell me I can do it.
Yeah,
It's
I had an
basically
agent
like-
get turned in for marketing rental.
Hmm.
Marketing someone
Some
else's rental. Like, who cares?
Some agents get really touchy about stuff like that. So it's good to just do a courtesy, even if your state does allow it, it's good to, as a courtesy to that agent, because that could backfire.
Well, I think it's all the approach too. It's like, I'm reaching out because this thing's been on the market 60 days. Do you want some help with that? And like, some of them are big headed, and then others are like, what are you going to do differently? And then I can introduce them to this. So in my local market, I use it, one, to find buyers and sellers and then pass them off to other agents around here. But then two, if it's a real estate agent, I'm like, cool, have you ever seen anything like that before? So it's kind of like a win-win in my local market as I do it. But outside, you'll make friends and stuff with other agents and be able to say, hey, can I promote that listing? Just depending on like your load. You may be solely a buyer's agent, but you can make those relationships through your own messenger as they come through, because they're like, that's cool.
Right.
So can we hire you to set that up for us in our market?
Yep, absolutely. So I do it listing by listing. If you go to bookmesolid.com, it's $300 per listing. And then your ad spend, a minimum of $10 a day for 7 days. I guarantee 50 leads, or I give you a refund. And then there's one more expense, which is ManyChat. It's that tool that we automate it with. It's $15 a month. So you only have one reoccurring bill per month, is that ManyChat. And I made it where you can just run as needed, or you can cut them off.
So that
Like-
$15 a month covers unlimited amount of listings. It's not per listing. The $15.
It covers up to like 500 contacts, but you can always go in there and unsubscribe them. It's like a CRM. The more people you put into it, the more expensive it gets over time, because it's basically the way they developed it initially. They wanted to treat it like email and be able to blast a list. Well, that didn't work out because people like ruined that. So now it's kind of just useless to have subscribers, because I just retarget people that send us messages anyway. So I just go in there and unsubscribe them. It's really easy to just check them all, hit unsubscribe, and go on with your day.
What about if you do, I have listings, and right now I'm helping quite a few buyers that are in contract. I would essentially, in the areas that they're searching for, like to generate more business in those specific areas. Do you have something that would work?
You want to generate business in the areas that they're looking to move to? Or
That they're in contract for. So technically it'll be a just sold soon. But I want to find out if you have anything that would support marketing for first-time home buyers, or just home buyers in general, instead of just listings.
Absolutely. So we could take your just sold and run that ad, but the messenger would basically pop up and say, hey, how can I help you? And get you in the conversation that way. Because, I mean, are you talking very specific neighborhood? Or are you talking a city?
Yeah.
What are you talking?
Very specific. In this zip code that I live in, the average single family home is anywhere between 1.2 and 1.4. And I currently have a buyer in the zip code that is at a $1.7 million price point. We're closing on Wednesday. So I want to ride the wave of that. And then I have a listing. It's a little bit farther out, but I wouldn't mind generating more business there. But the 94536 is the one right now that's very important to me, because it's right here next door.
Well, what is around it? Because like with Facebook, you have a minimum 15-mile radius.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get around that if you have a list, but at the same time, like, you're attracting more people into that community, that lifestyle. So it's kind of hit or miss. You just have to experiment and see. But I have some people, they're like, no, that's too low. Go further north. So like, that's where you tell me where to put it. But it's a 15-mile radius of that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's roughly about the radius that I've given, and I'm going to be dumping into Google ads anyways too. It's like a 15-mile radius. So
what you do with that is do your just sold. You can do a video, you can do a post, whatever, and then drive it in the messenger and be like, here's the other available ones in the area, and just send them back to your website. But you know that they clicked on it, and you can chat with them through that and say, actually, here's one coming up that's not on the market, you know?
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll get more information from you later. Thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's pretty awesome. Lanny and Thelma work my leads that come through. Lanny, you want to chat about it? How it is?
Be prepared to be really busy in the sense of you're having like conversations all day long. So it's good. I mean, it's a great way to get instant people in your database.
Right. And she's showing houses to one on Monday.
Yeah.
My question would be like, how, if you just do one listing, like how many are you doing? Like how many listings are you promoting? Like 4 a week or 1 a week, or?
I just promote them all because I want them all sold. So,
So-
but even just one is going to generate you a ton of leads. So that's why I have 2 agents on it, because it's too much for one person.
Wendy is very unique in that. I would start with one and see if you get overwhelmed and then add on to that. If you
I know,
got-
when I jumped
got
in, I'm
help-
like, here, I have 3 listings. And my phone was just like, I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Even Linnea, I introduced her to Chris, and she did the same thing. She says, holy crap, oh my God. I mean, and the thing is that they're real people. Like, that's the coolest part, is that we chase leads all the time as realtors, you know, trying to get that right phone number, trying to get that right email. Like, it's just insane that,
That's
you know, you're actually talking to those people, right? through
Yeah,
them.
I mean, if you can dedicate 30 minutes a day to it, it'll be fruitful for you. If you can't find that 30 minutes, it's not for you.
Oh, can I ask a question about, have anyone used it for just land listings? Like, what's their success level with, you know, land lots versus residential?
You said with land? With land, I've only really seen like one lot get sold with that. It's a simple, like, it's not a big enough buyer pool, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
we tried land. We tried to do that one land ad, and, you know, I mean, there's only so many pictures you can take of a piece of land.
Right.
So it's not really that great. And we have a drone video, but, you know, there's just not a lot of people.
Now, like if you had a list of developers and you want to rub that in their face, then we could create a custom audience and rub it in their face. But like, if not, you're just kind of going out to the public, and you either want it or you don't. And land is kind of like a rare thing for most. They don't want it, you know, or can't afford it.
Let me ask you about a sold listing. How I've got rid of my last listing here in Carmel, and how might that be effective?
So you could run a just sold, and we could give the details of how long it was on the market and how fast it sold, and then basically start that conversation. Say, here's some more in that neighborhood, or here's some more in that area. Or, you know, you could use it a bunch of different ways.
Or for
But-
sellers, you could be like showing them how you market, you know, and showing that drone
Absolutely.
video or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most important thing, is you will get listings from this for the simple fact that they already see how you market homes. Like, it's just a matter of asking those right questions out the gate, instead of just, you know, most people are like, oh, if I piss them off, they'll go away. I'm like, don't worry about pissing them off. Ask, do they have another agent that they're working with first, before you spend all this time, you know, chatting about the weekend.
Right. And when you go to a listing appointment, I take my iPad and I'm scrolling through all these messages. I'm like, this is how many people asked about my listing this morning.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, you know, because agents say all kinds of stuff, but is it real? You know, so when you show proof of all the conversations you've been having this week over one listing, like, you know, I'm gonna start doing that for your home as soon as you give me the green light and sign the papers. You know, so
So the-
that's a really good
Hey,
listing
Chris.
tool.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not sure if I missed it. I apologize if you said it already. You said 30 minutes a day. You said make sure that you have 30 minutes a day so that this could be successful. When you say that, do you mean to be available through chat, or what other forms? In the past, I've done Facebook ads. Me personally, they were not my favorite, but I love this style of contacting people through DM. So that said, what 30 minutes, how would I dedicate my time to make this the most successful?
So you follow up on your time. I built this for basically, like, I work between carpool between 7 and 2 o'clock. if you catch me after that, good luck. You know, like it was a unicorn, right? So put it around your schedule, but don't follow up with people at like 11:30 at night unless you're in Vegas and they're awake, you know. Like just make it work with your schedule and step out a couple minutes here and there. Like if I'm walking from here to the dog park over there, I send out 5 or 10, you know, like it's nothing to think about to do it.
Oh, you mean just, okay, so when you say your 30 minutes to work, it's to send video text or messages or respond to the chats. That's all you're saying, right? I just want to make sure I understand the scope.
Technically, I could
that's the
send out
chatting.
this selfie video for you. But yeah, it's basically to poke again, because you can see like the example I showed you where I poked 5 times, so the 6th time they bit. So it's just a matter of continuing to poke. But I have a present for all of y'all, and I'll put a link in here. I call it humanizing the conversation. It's questions you should be asking, and you'll get better responses if you ask them. I don't care what channel it's in. But I'll put a link here for you.
There was a question in there too, available in other languages.
Available in other languages. If you can translate it, sure. Like I think Spanish would be amazing because like not a lot of people are doing that. What language do you have in mind?
Question came from John Savia.
He said French.
French?
French.
You could totally target people that only speak French. I just can't translate it for you. If you can translate it, we can plug and chug.
That's cool though. Sheila, you had your hand up. Did you have a question?
I did, about retargeting. So is this something that you can use definitely from a custom audience perspective to retarget the ad instead of just making it an ad, but retarget it to, you know, the people that are already in your database, right?
Absolutely. So I would allot a separate budget for that. But yeah, anybody that is in your database, anybody that's watched your videos, anybody that's engaged with your page, anybody that sent you a message, anybody that's been on your Instagram, like all of those are custom audience that we can retarget out the gate. But I would allot a separate little budget for that. I'd put like $2 or $3 a day for that, because the retargeting technically, normally it costs more, but with Messenger, it's not as much more. But like with clicks and stuff, you're gonna pay a ton to get, you know, it's more of the recognition that when you're paying for the conversion, that's why you'll see some of them cost $50 to get a conversion for like one form, is a simple fact that that pool is so much smaller, you know what I mean? So you're paying more to hit that little pool. But generically, yes, retargeting, we could totally do that, but I would allot a separate budget for that.
Right, that's great. Yeah,
But did
retargeting
you
definitely.
already put a link in because they don't see it, or did we distract you?
I did. It looks like I just sent it to Debbie. Oops.
Oh, I do that all the time too. I don't realize it automatically does that. And then obviously they want your contact information and how to sign up.
Absolutely. So that first link is the humanizing the conversation. That'll take you to my Google Doc. That's those questions that I was telling you are amazing. Also, I have a training. It takes about an hour. It's called the Launchpad. And I prefer that you go through that before we launch an ad so that you really know what to expect. And you can kind of see the inside guts of it. It's not 100% necessary, but I feel like it's definitely needed. Lanny, didn't you do it?
I watched videos, but I don't remember the launch pad. That's why I was just writing it down. I'm like, hey, I need to get that.
It takes you to a membership, and there's maybe like 6 or 7 videos in there.
Ooh, I don't remember that.
I'm such a bad trainer. I'm like, just here, answer these people.
I'll find your link, shoot it over to you.
Perfect.
That's funny. I know. Well, the cool thing is though, too, you could do a personal video. Like we do a video saying, hey, I see you checking my listing out on Facebook. That's awesome. I know you're not probably ready yet, but I just wanted to let you know that there is a human behind this, you know? So, and he'll put that in your automation. That way, once it starts chatting, and then that will go in, that way they know who you are and see your smiling face, make sure you're smiling. And yeah, that helps.
I'm gonna
more.
I want to put my email in here as well. If y'all will shoot me an email like with your email and your cell phone number, I'll give the launch pad to everybody and you can go see if it's for you. Because basically you'll go through there and be like, nope, or this is awesome. I feel like that's a better approach for you instead of just signing up and going, whoa, too much.
Awesome. Yeah, I think
There
that
we
was
go.
good. I can't believe we got through that in 40 minutes. I'm excited about
And
that.
it's so much easier than calling people because they're talking to you, and so you can just talk right back throughout whatever you're doing instead of stopping and calling someone.
Right. And I mean, there's a lot of people that still, say stop or unsubscribe. You're going to get that with any marketing, but there is a whole lot of people that still have conversations, about, what else they're looking for. And as soon as he has it set up to where as soon as they put in a phone number or an email, it goes right into my follow-up box. So it's through Zapier. So he zaps it right into my CRM. So then we, the sources, we have first responder, and then we go from there. So we assign to agents because we know which agents are on which properties. That's how we can figure that out. And, it's easier having one agent on because then they work the whole thing. But when there's that many, we're just splitting them up. Okay, you follow up on this property, you follow up on this property. So it works pretty good. So anyway, there is also first responder from your website that Chris does. So I think that's how we started, right? I have a website and I have the Facebook business page. And so I have a little chat bot on there that chats with people, kind of like he was talking about Pizza Hut or whatever that was, they're like, how can I help you? So he also can set up stuff like that, right, Chris?
Correct. Yeah, so basically the first responder is, you can think of that as a secretary. So if people are coming at you, instead of you sending something back like, we're away, please call, text, email, do something besides message me here. Like we navigate that conversation, then click buy, it'll build them a search result, and spit them back into your website so that it takes care of what they're looking for right now. And then you can come back to them. Yeah, because I've been out showing houses and then we get these people coming through our website and I'm watching it, of course, because it's super cool to watch them answer the questions. But then it's like, and it gets all their information and it gets exactly what they're looking for in the area that they're looking for. But then it's like, okay, well, no need to wait for me to set you up on a search. Here's a link right here. You can start shopping now. So it goes right into the website and then they can start shopping and then we can see what they're shopping for because we have our website tied to follow-up boss. So it's pretty cool. Right. And y'all were asking about retargeting. I saw Lene just came in. She had a listing appointment a couple months ago and they ghosted her or something came up. And then they came back through Messenger a couple weeks ago. She got a $1.2 million listing. So if you can hear me, can you speak to that?
Yeah, it was a client that actually came through EDDM about 6 months ago. And then I had a listing appointment with them back in May. And they changed their mind, and then we retargeted them with the ads, and then I went back to the house and got the listing.
Sweet.
So,
yep, it's nice to have things that are happening everywhere. So, like you have texts and emails going out, you have chatting with bots, CMA drop-offs. Like, I mean, we are bound to get them sometime, right? So if you're, and they love that. They're like, wow, this lady is everywhere. And John says, what's the success so far, Wendy? Well, yeah, we've been using the system for a couple years and we have closed a lot of deals. I don't have exact numbers or ROI, so I'm really sorry, but I reevaluate my systems every December. And what doesn't work goes out and what is working stays in. So we have been successful with this program and love it. So we have kept continuing using it for all our listings. So, and as you know, these leads are way cheaper than, I mean, I'm excited when I get, buyer leads for $4 through Street Text, and my seller leads are like $10, but like these are like, I see them running like 20, 30 cents, when you're having conversations with them. Yes, you may not have an email or a phone number right away, but who cares? You're talking to them right through Messenger. So there's that.
This is brilliant.
Isn't it?
It's just brilliant.
I knew you would like it, Patty.
Thank you for the reminder. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, this is game changer stuff right
Oh
here.
yeah. Just another level to be just constantly in front of people. I had somebody call me Saturday that said she's looking for property and I just kept coming up. That's like gold.
Right.
Yep. So I have, is it Patricia? She asked about the pricing again. Basically, I do $300 a listing to build it out. You're going to pay the ad spend. Minimum ad spend is $10 a day for 7 days. You don't get 50 leads, I give you a refund. On top of that, there's a $15 fee for ManyChat. It's the part that we automate it with. And that goes up with the number of subscribers you have, but you can always unsubscribe them and keep that bill cheap. That's the only reoccurring bill that you have, is that $15 a month. And you just do it as necessary. Just like when you get a listing, you run it, just like you go get photography made.
Yeah.
Cool.
So just make it part of your marketing budget and it will work.
I have a silly question.
Yes. no
Wendy,
silly
how do you know so many agents all over the place?
Oh, it's a little thing called Chris Mayshore, Street Text, EXP. I'm in masterminds all over the world, girl.
Let's go.
This is my tribe, right? I know.
Greg,
I love it. And it makes it more fun.
Greg Davis has a question. What was the name of the video we need to request? What video? I was just saying.
I think he means the launch one. I could use it too.
The Launchpad. Send me an email, info@bookmesolid.com. Send me basically your phone number and your email. The reason I asked for the phone number is because it'll shoot you a text saying, "Hey, we sent it to you." That's just the way it works.
I'm on that website, Chris. Your Book Me Solid to sign up, just to get started now, and then you and I will have an opportunity to talk before everything gets launched. Is that right? Or will I go to one of your sales reps? Or
you basically do it all online, and then we will chat through text, basically to shoot you a text saying that here's onboarding. If we need to hop on a Zoom call and help you with onboarding, we can do that. If not, I just tell you when it's ready to go. But we do everything through text for the most part because I practice what I preach. I used to run it all through Messenger, but I haven't had the best success. I've been in jail a few times, so I go through text to have a backup. And that's why I asked for those phone numbers to send them over to you. That way I always have a backup channel.
Yeah, and you'll see when it's happening because he'll be testing the ad and you'll see that right through Messenger. So you'll see exactly that he's asked, or the questions are being answered, he's answering them, stuff like that. And then they'll email you the personal video that they want in the funnel, right?
Correct. Yeah. So basically like that first go round, that setup will take 10, 15 minutes, depending how savvy you are. If we have to hop on a Zoom to do the onboarding. After that, you're just basically filling a form out. You're saying, here's the duration, here's the budget, here's a link. If I got a YouTube link, here's a YouTube link, and that's it. Like once I embed that follow-up message for you, we just run it every time, unless you tell me otherwise.
could we essentially do, if there was another higher price point in a different area, but it sold like a few months back? I mean, we could just put sold, right? We don't have to say just sold. And could we run an ad that way?
I sold this in 2005.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
It's all.
I was thinking the same thing, honestly. I sold a 1.7 at the beginning of the year. I'm using it.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I've been gravitating more towards higher price points. And if that's what God needs me to be, then, by all means, who am I to say no? I'm doing all the work. I'm investing.
I would check like with your local authorities, whatnot. Everybody's got like their rules on Facebook ads, as far as stuff like that, as far as local municipalities, whatever. But I would say, the chances of them reaching out and saying, stop are very low. So just ask for forgiveness later.
I agree with you 100%. Let's do it. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Cool.
So you
Awesome.
can run more than one ad at a time though. So it'd be $300 for one ad. So if you wanted to run a buyer and a listing ad, then it would be $600, right? Am I
No,
getting that
so
correct?
it's going to generate you buyer and seller leads. It's really based on that listing. Like I like the move up ones because you will get listings from it. But I don't have a buyer specific one. The listing is that conversation starter.
Right. Yeah, and that's the cool thing is that you're going to have a conversation about your listing. So that gives you the chance to either double end it or get buyers or sellers.
Also,
Because a lot of people need to sell in order to buy.
it will also give you feedback if the thing's overpriced and they don't believe you. Be like, look, 8 people said that. Here's my feedback for you. So
that's really, really good too.
It's good to have feedback, show them in real time, be like, look.
Hey, Chris, I know that it probably ranges per area, per ad, per like there's a lot of different factors. Out of those 50 leads that you say that you guarantee, what percentage do you think are actual leads that we'll be able to converse with? And how many of those do you think would essentially, just a range, become potential listings or sales?
Depends on your follow-up game. And it really
Sure.
depends on the area too. I say
Okay.
50, typically you'll see a lot more than that. I just say that so that you're impressed when you get more.
And
But,
the
I would-
listing bot is going to work better than the just sold. Just
For
telling
sure.
you that right now. People are looking for homes to buy.
Yep.
If you run I just sold this, people don't really care about that. They care about new listings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't get discouraged if you don't have huge success on the just sold. If I were
We'll see
you,
that.
I would be running the one that's right outside that area.
Okay.
The 15-mile radius, right? And isn't it
Mhm.
covering that neighborhood that you want to cover?
Yeah, it's the city is so big.
So
but
run
yes.
that, run
Mhm.
that, and get the buyers in the other area that's there because it's gonna
It's
be
just,
a 15
it's such a lower price point though. I mean, I'm not opposed to the business, don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying it's gonna work a lot better.
Okay.
We've been running these a while.
I mean, can you not borrow one in that neighborhood, or they all have big heads about it?
I'm sorry, say again?
Hey,
Like, could you not borrow a different listing in that neighborhood? Or are they all like, oh, this one's mine?
Yeah, like look it up in the MLS
Yeah.
and see if you can have permission to market one of them that's in the
Sure.
area you want to be in.
I do
Can I
that a
jump in?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I jump-
Linnea.
Okay, so I was gonna say just with the listing ads, is that Jess who's saying the thing about the price point? I
Yeah.
think it is, right? Okay, so here's the deal. So the ad that I just ran was for a price point that I don't necessarily love. It's a $440,000 price point, but that one had me the most freaking leads I've ever had, and I got 2 appointments from it. And so there are people that are selling, they have to sell their house in the neighborhood and then also buy. So it's like, even though it's a lower price point, it's going to turn into 2. It's turning into 2. So I basically have an appointment for four transactions from one lead that was 440,000. Now I'm about to run one on Thursday for a listing that's 1.2 that I got from the retargeting one that I just talked about, and I don't have any idea how that one's going to do. I mean, we did a higher price point, and I didn't get nearly as many leads from it. So it's that lower price point that people really are interested in because the people want affordable housing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I would not push off the lower price point homes at all.
Okay.
And Linnea, thank you. She is on vacation at a beach and she still hopped on. So yay.
You're welcome,
Wendy,
Wendy.
a
Anything for
question
you.
about your agent. Do
Yes.
you have a particular campaign and you have one agent field all those calls? They're the ones that are interacting with the leads that come in, not you?
Right. So I have 2 agents that work in this system and they're both assigned to different properties. So one of them has 2 properties and the other one has the other 2 properties that we're working on right now because there's a lot. So you can see, so when they hop in, you can see which property that they clicked on because it'll already have all the photos. You know what I mean? And so then they just start chatting, you know,
You could
after.
also sort it like in the column where it's got their name, it says ad ID. So you can click that ad ID and it'll show all of the ones for that specific one. So if you have one agent on this one agent on that, they can easily sort it that way.
Right. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of good sorting tools too. You can, like, maybe you're having a conversation, but you don't want to, you don't want to stop having the conversation, but they stopped. You just click follow up and then it'll be on your follow-ups that you need to do. So,
and the other thing to think about is like, so this also happened because like I had like 4, I think 3 or 4 of these running at one time. I had another lady just reach out to me randomly on Facebook. She didn't come, it's not traced back to any ad. She just reached out to randomly. She's like, here's my address. How soon can you come over and do a walkthrough with us? So like, you guys just have to think about like that too. So even though it might not be targeted to one specific thing, I mean, the way, I don't know what Chris is doing. I mean, I can probably go into Ads Manager and figure it out, but I don't want to, but I don't know what he's doing, but
it's working.
It's working. Either way, it's working. So there you go. I will just like, there's so many different avenues that you can think about how these ads can actually help your business.
That's awesome. Katrina. Hey, girl.
Hello. I just wanted to piggyback on what Linnea was saying earlier and just talking about the higher price point. As some of you guys know, I'm both a realtor and a loan officer. And with the rates going up, the lower price points right now, they can actually still get loans with rates in the 5s and low 6s, where conventional rates can't. They're in the 7s and 8s now. So those buyers are going to be able to get into properties faster right now. So you want the lower price buyers right now. So this is a good time to run ads going after those buyers.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Chris already, he has my money. I'm filling out the form now for that listing. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, you will love it. I mean, I don't promote anybody that I don't love. So, but yeah. And the thing is sharing this information with agents all over, like, that's just amazing, because we try so hard to do the right thing and to spend money in the right places. And I've been in the business 17 years and I don't even want to add up all the money I wasted on stupid shit. So, so I'm telling you, it is the real deal and you will love it and you will be busy. So, but you got to do the follow-ups. Like Chris, the bot does start chatting, but trust me, and he can tell you, like when I wasn't working it, he's like, Wendy, what are you doing? They're just sitting there and there's tons of them and you're not converting. Like, I'm busy. So that's why I had to reach out and get some help from my agents. So,
and we can always like lower the budget. Like that's not a shame to do. Like you may be like, oh, $5 is even better. It just really depends the volume.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you stay kind of hands-on too, because Wendy said that you chimed in and were like, hey, you have hella leads and you're not responding.
Oh, I know. So, I could tell he's super frustrated with me.
Yeah,
he's like, I need success stories, Wendy. I'm not going to get them if you're not doing your job. It's
come on, Wendy, come on.
I know.
Success is my success. Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
No, but yeah. And the thing is that now that houses aren't selling in 5 minutes, this is just huge. You need this, your sellers need this, and we have to go back to our sellers and tell them what we're doing now. So when I send them screenshots about, all the views that they're getting on YouTube, all the views they're getting from my reach ads on Facebook, and all the conversations that I'm having with buyers, like he can send me a screenshot, because I don't really know how to do it, of, the conversations we're having on their property, and be like, hey, I've already had 236 conversations this week. This is where we're at. These are the questions I'm getting, and, we just still don't have a buyer on board, but we are doing everything we can, and so that's the cool thing, is to be able to, Carol is so funny. She's just like having this huge conversation and I can't stop seeing her.
I was wondering what the heck she was talking about.
I know she's doing really good and has a lot of energy.
She's like me. She can't talk without her hands. That's hilarious.
I love her. Anyway, she has no idea we're talking about her. Hi, Carol. Yes, you. Anyway, but sorry, I got off track, but
No, I totally just did my accountability call on my cell phone while I had you guys here because I didn't want to disconnect and not be able to come back in because I'm like, Chris Harden, I have so many questions, but I missed all the meat.
Oh no.
she missed the meat. Well, go to bookmesolid.com and you can watch all the videos and see what people are doing and how it works and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
All right, guys. Any more questions before we wrap up? We have 3 minutes left and
One more, sorry.
okay, yeah.
Chris, you mentioned daily budget was a minimum of $10 per 7 days. To see better success, obviously spending more money or longer duration, which one makes the most sense?
It really depends. Like I'm a fan of throwing more money at it for a shorter amount of time when you can sit there and just smoke through them. But everybody's different.
So $20 a day for 7 days. Sound good?
If that's what you want to do, you may hate me later.
Yeah, you may want to.
Good. I want to hate you so I can get more than my money back. So wonderful. We're on our way. I am a Zoom person though, obviously. I don't do well with text, so I'll need you to call me.
Fair enough.
You may want to start with 10. I'm just telling you. Like the leads,
Oh,
the amount
I
of
already
leads
hit the
that came in
button.
is so overwhelming.
I already hit the
Like,
button.
whoa.
Linnea, you know I'm a D. I'm a D personality. Okay. As he was
Oh,
talking, I was
girl.
doing. I've already
Girl.
hit the button.
I know. I did 20 on my first 20 for 7 days. And I was like, and Chris, like he did with Window, he's like, so how's your follow-up going? So how's your follow-up going? So how's your follow-up going? I'm like, Chris, leave me alone. My follow-up's not going. Well, what do you do about it? Just saying.
Well, I'll train one of my assistants on this. So hopefully they can
There you
help me
go.
navigate through it just in case I fall short.
Right. And
Right.
Chris is awesome with jumping on a Zoom with them, training them. He has scripts that they can use. I didn't even go over the feature that there's like auto text. So there's a really cool coffee cup one that's in the morning. Good morning with a coffee cup. And then there's a little question, one question, because you really only can ask people one question because they don't want to answer 5.
Yep.
So, but yeah, there's little automated things that are set up in there and you can set up your own. So like, say you do a price reduction, you could be like, hey, just let you know, this one just reduced $50,000. Here's the YouTube link video if you want to remember how amazing this home was. And then you can pre-generate that. And then you can go and sort everybody that clicked on that link. You know what I mean? And then send that out to all those people.
Yeah, all the ones that say just curious or they're not interested, like if you have a YouTube channel, send them to that. Say maybe I can help you in the future. Fire that away because like that's kind of built-in nurturing, and you might as well take the swing while you got it.
Right. Awesome, guys. Well, I am so excited that this is actually recorded. So it will be going into the Tech Tuesday group, and you can go to the tags where it says Tech Tuesday recording and it will be tagged that. So you'll be able to find it there.
So I'm new to this. So where do I go to get that?
Okay, so you're going to go to the group Tech Tuesday with Wendy. Oh, let me move this guy over here. I don't have Facebook up anymore.
Thank you guys. I have to hop off.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, bye.
So this group that you should be in, if not, just go there and I will let you in. It looks like this, Tech Tuesday with Wendy. And then right here, topics in this group, Tech Tuesday recording, you just click on that and that's where your recordings will be.
Cool.
And we have a whole bunch of stuff. Lopo, we got follow-up boss, how to do Radar magnets, Core Present, Bomb. Like I'm trying to hit all the good stuff that we use because it's all good stuff. So we will have one on for Chris as well.
But is there a therapy button for overwhelm?
That's funny that you say that because I have this sign on my wall. Being overwhelmed means I'm growing.
I know. I'm 10 foot tall right now.
Yeah, so this is very important. Krista Mayshore taught me this, and I believe it. I am growing a lot.
My biggest concern at this point, because I love all this is fantastic, is that and I'm new to Krista's program. I'm in a 30-day. That if I get a seller that says, oh, great, well, show me all your, listing program. I mean, I'm not plugged in yet to really give them the big wow. And this is what I do with all the videos and all that. That's my biggest concern right now, is how to present my marketing plan when I'm such a novice with the Krista program.
Well,
One step at a time.
Yeah.
One step at a time. That's all you do. Like, don't go. You're getting way too far ahead of yourself, to be honest with you. I've been in the program for 2.5 years, and I can tell you, like, I didn't have any of that when I first came on. Like, I didn't have any of it, and I got things left and right just because I knew how to talk differently. I knew different things that I could do. So I will just say, like, just one step at a time. To be honest with you, you'll be just fine.
Because I'm doing this. I've been in this business forever and a day, and yet I'm so far behind when I compared to all of this stuff. Like, I see Chris's stuff, but this is great. Just love it.
Yeah, just one step at a time. You'll be fine.
Do you,
Well, all right, thank you.
do you have any recent listings, Steven?
Do I?
Mhm.
One that just sold, my last one, for 3.35 in Carmel, and I want more of those. I want more of those, and it's very competitive here. I mean, there's some really big honchos. I mean, the two big guys are doing like $500 million a year in sales, and I want to get in there and start moving them aside. Say, hey, listen, you want me, not them.
Well, the thing is when you start doing stuff like this, that's what you can take to the seller and be like, hey, we sit there and we know how to properly market your home
right
in front of thousands of potential buyers. And we actually have conversations and just show them, and it doesn't take a whole beautiful marketing package to show them that. Like I said, I just take my iPad, go to Messenger, and just start scrolling. I mean, I have a marketing package, but
Chris, I'll be calling. I'll be talking with you.
awesome.
Look forward to it. I thought of one more question, or actually I read it. It says, what happens after the 7 days? Can you run it again? Yeah, we could totally run another round. I just say 7 days to kind of not overwhelm you. Some people just run it until the listing's done, till it's sold. Like, we kind of communicate through that. Once we get going, we're over in Messenger ourselves, like my personal messenger, and we just kind of communicate back and forth there.
Cool.
Yeah, so we keep it running until the listing's dead. So because you just want to keep getting more leads, right?
But then also, like, if you're within a specific neighborhood and you sell that kind of specific home, that's like a great conversation to say, like, I had all these people interested in that one that I just sold. Yours is just like that. Like, can I tell them about yours?
Yeah. Cool.
Share, copy link. Sorry, I'm going to put the link in there. Someone said they can't find the group. So.
Okay, Chris, I've got a question.
Yes.
How quickly how quickly do you start?
24-hour turnaround as long as you get the onboarding done, which takes you 10-15 minutes today.
And then how quickly should we see results?
As far as messages coming in?
Yes, sir.
If it depends with Facebook. If you have a newer account, sometimes the review period's 24 hours. Sometimes it's not. Typically, like
so it's based on our ads manager then?
Yeah. Typically they launch within a couple hours.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then someone wanted to know if you can run them through Google, not Facebook, because they don't have access to run ads on Facebook right now.
No, I'm looking more into that. I do want to run YouTube ads, but I've kind of stuck in the conversation mode for now. I've been doing this the last 5 years, and I just want to be good at one thing instead of 10 things. So I'm going to keep hammering down until I can't.
Awesome. All right. Well, we got to close this up because I got another call to hop on, but I appreciate you guys for coming, and thank you, Chris, for taking time for us.
Thank
and
you.
Hopefully everybody starts generating a bunch of leads and having a bunch of conversations.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Bye-bye.
Wendy. Thanks, Chris, everybody.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wendy.
All right. You're welcome.